everyone. I am really glad that you liked my little snowman hats. I'm going to make some for you here. So this is my very first time at making a video, so bear with me, it's not going to be professional. So here we go. Alright. So I'm going to show you what this looks like up close. They're not very big, but see, I want you to see the seams along the top. They're pretty simple. This is just extra fabric from here, and there's the bottom, just like that, made out of a rug. Okay, so what I did was I went to Dollar Tree, and these are the rugs that you can get. They're in the hardware section. This one's cut in half already, but they're very, very thin, like paper thin. And I thought, you know, that would be perfect as replacement for felt, because the felt that you can buy, this is like what, 99 cents or $1 for this whole piece, which is twice this size. And you know, I made all of them out of, I think, the half, this half here. So what I did was I turn it over on the back side. This is my painter's tape from Dollar Tree. As you can see, I used it already. And I draw, as you can see, I just put one here, and then I have a white marker. The last time I used a black one, but this time, just so you can see it better, I'm going to use a dark one. So I'm just going to trace around the outside edge. Just like that. And then I was looking at them, and I just kind of took my hand. When I looked at it, I was trying to figure out what size of a hat I wanted. So I grabbed an old medicine bottle. Let's see. This is, as you can see here, about 1.5 inches across for the top. And that's the size that I wanted, 1.5 inches around. But what I did was I just measured it on my hand. So I just took my hand and I figured, okay, how long is that? Like 6 inches or so. So I'm going to set this over here. So I looked at the grain, which way the grain was going on this, and I wanted to cut my piece here. When I originally cut my template here for the hat, I didn't like how small that was, and I didn't want it to go up and down. I want it to go up and down, whereas this is sideways, or no, the other way around. Anyway, so I grabbed my piece here, and I laid it out on here, and I'm going to cut it 3 wide. You can see on my hat here I have 1, 2, 3, and then you can see the ridges between here. So I did 1, and I just used that as my measuring. So I did 3 wide. So I go 1, 2, 3, and then that would be where I would cut it, and I would cut it 6 inches. So I would turn it over. 1, 2, 3. And I measure my 6 inches. I really wasn't this precise when I did it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I'll mark it here. Yeah, along that edge there. Because this is a little bit thicker, it is a little bit more difficult to cut. But yeah, I mean, you can get through it as long as you have a good pair of scissors. Now you're going to be amazed at how simple this is. So just cut these 2 pieces out. If you can see it there. Oof, a little tough. You can do it though if you have a really good sharp pair of scissors, which I kind of, if you can see it here. Oh, my scissors got stuck. There's a sweet spot on these scissors that make it where it's easier to cut. It is a little bit rubbery, but not too bad. Okay. Okay. So there's my hat piece. Okay. And then I just take and cut out my other one here. If you have electric scissors, that would be awesome, especially if you have arthritis in your hands. All right. I have not found that spot that my husband actually sharpened these for me. But this is a tough piece of fabric to kind of cut through. And then you can find something wider to make the brim, and then, you know, I just kind of eyeballed it. Okay. There we go. Make it nice and round there. Okay, I'm gonna move this aside for right now. So then I'm at 2 pieces. Then I have one more piece that is the top piece that I already cut out. It was the size of this here. So right here like this. I had a couple of them that I cut that were larger, and I had extra pieces on the side. I leave my scraps too. I hang on to them because later on I went back in, and do you see these little pieces right here on the edge here? Those are just scraps from making my circles a little bit rounder or cutting it off at the edge a little bit more there. So I just hung on to them and then had the idea, well, I'll just stick them in there and see what they look like. And I did them both in black, and I also was using foam, pieces of glittery foam, and I used them on that one as well. So, okay, so there's my 3 pieces. So here's something else I did too. I don't like the edge of this, so I would take the edge, and I took my marker and I colored. Can you see the edge, how it looks kind of white? I don't like that, so I just took a black marker and did like this and covered that up right there all the way around. So on all of the pieces that I did it on the top piece and the bottom piece and on the sides, and even on any glue that I had, just to kind of fill it in a little bit. Like if there's any white down here, you can see the white. If there's any white pieces, like from the originally I used a black marker to make my circle, but I didn't think you guys could be able to see it, so that's why I used white. Okay, there's that one. This one you're not going to really see that much, but I'm going to do it anyway, just to have it done. And then this one I already did. So, okay, so now I put my piece out. See, it's got a pattern on it here. Got some glue here on it. Got a pattern on it. So I'm going to sit it down here, but I wanted to, this is the next piece. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to run a bead of hot glue right along the inner edge. If you can see it there. Okay. And then what I did was to kind of get them to stick together. I kind of hold it for a couple minutes. Then I just took it and I stuck it together like this, kind of round, give it a little bit of a, it's kind of stiff, so give it a little bit of give. You kind of want to work with it a little bit. And then you just take and start to stick it together like this. Just like that. Then I took my little guys here and here. Okay. And then I take and I like to just run a little bit of extra bead of glue inside there just for a second. Actually, I'll wait until I'm done with it. Let it dry for a second. And then I just let it sit for a second like this. And then I'll take them off. See, it's already stuck together. Then I just take and add a little extra glue in there. And give it a, there we go. And on this edge too. Oh, you can't see that, sorry. And then I just kind of hold it and pinch it together there. It kind of comes out a little bit. The glue kind of squirts out a little bit, but that's okay, because what I do, I just kind of hold it, okay? Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my marker again, and I'm going to go over the glue mark. You see that? You can, it kind of gives it blends it in a little bit better. Okay, so there you got kind of a round. My marker back in here. So then I'm going to take my little, oops, it's a little bit wet here, hat here, and I'm going to stick it on here. Can you see that? I'm going to stick it right on here. Move these guys aside. Done with all this. I'm going to stick my hat on here and about like this in the center. Okay, about like that. Then I just pick it up, put the glue on it. I kind of stay more toward the inside when I'm gluing it, so most of the glue goes on the inside edge the first go around, if you can see that. Second time around I kind of do the same thing, only I give it a little bit more right here on the edge. Kind of just give this a little. Sometimes they kind of popped up when I was working on decorating the rim, and you just put your glue back underneath there, and you can get some more glue in there. And then I just make sure that I color it. Then I just turn it over. Okay, find where I want my back. Just turn it over and find my center and stick it on. And then I just hold it down for a second. There your hat is on. See there? Now if you see any glue on there, the pieces, I just kind of take it off. The glue pieces off. Keep it nice and clean. And then what I do for my little hat piece, so I have my little circle here that I cut out from my medicine ball top. See, like this. And then I have a pair of tweezers that I have never used for anything except for this, and they're the pokey kind. I just found the center and poked a hole right in the center of it there. See, I just poked a hole right there. Called it good. Okay, there's my top piece. So then next I take some ribbon, a white piece of ribbon. I just pulled out a little bit of ribbon here. Didn't measure it, just however long you want it to hang. I like mine to kind of hang. My tree's kind of a noble, so I like for it to hang a little bit. And I just cut off a piece there. Wow, my scissors are just completely dull. And I like to just give it a little bit of a pop here. Okay. Oop. Well, I didn't mean to do that. All right, so then what I do is I take my, not yet. So I take this on the front side, and I take my, it says I'm on low battery mode. That's strange. I just take my needle tweezers, and I just poke it down through the hole that I already made. Why is this being so difficult? There it is. You see it right there? Just poke it on through there and pull it on up. There we go. Oh, that's right, originally I didn't glue this, because what I did was I just stuck it through, and then I glue these down. Just put a dab of glue right here on each one of them. I need to pull that down a little bit. Give that right there. And then the same thing on the other side right here. And just kind of hold it for a second. Okay, there's your top. So next I want to place that on there, but because it has ridges on it right here, I wanted to match the ridges on here. So I just looked at it and did like this right here and matched it how I wanted it. Put that aside. And then same thing. I do glue on the inside. My battery's running low, you guys, so I may run out of time to get all the decorations on it for you, but I can show you how I did it really quick. And then I just do, sometimes these fit a little bit too tight and they kind of want to sink down in there. If you get lots of glue on the outside edge here, again, I just run it around, run my Sharpie pen around it, and color the, or for that matter, if you have black glue, that would be awesome. All right, so make sure that I find my centers, like my side again, and then I just stick it right on there, and then I pinch it a little bit to kind of get it to hold it down so that it matches. And there you go. There's your little hat. If I were going to do it again, I would probably make this edge a little bit thinner so that the hat does this a little bit more. So gather the bottom, but the fabric is a little bit hard to work with, so I didn't bother to do it this time just for the sake of the tutorial. But then you go ahead and polish up your edge right there. If you see any glue showing through, right on your edge, right here. Okay, there you go. There's your little hat. Now it's just a matter of trying to figure out, okay, what color ribbons do you want? You want a red one? So then I would take and pick, okay, this is going to be my back. So I kind of like to poke it a little bit right here, kind of push on it a little and give it and see where it kind of, and then I'll either pull it down like this, give it a little bit of a, like this, so that it has, so it's Frosty's hat a little bit. And you can see it kind of lifts up a little bit there, but it's okay because you can cover that up with your glue or your ribbon. So I would just take a ribbon and put it around and just tie it, you know, and cut it off right here and glue it on. Oh, my other scissors are. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Measure it right there. Piece it right there a little bit and tack it on. Find my edge here. I like to put my centerpiece about on the side a little bit over here. So I'm going to stick this right here on the side so my seam is covered. And then about halfway around on the back, I give it one little thing of glue. Here, right there. Keep pulling it around and again give it a little dollop of glue right there. Just keep coming around until you get to the other side. And there it is, right there. Okay. So there you have your first ribbon. So I got a little bit of white stuff right here. I'm going to pull that out of there because I want it to look clean. Oops, I just stuck my finger. The glue over here. And I even do the same thing down under here. If I see any glue down under here from what I just did, I'll run my Sharpie under there. So next I'll take my, however big of a ribbon I want, and I'll go figure out what size of loops I want on it. Maybe here and here. I'll just go like this, and then I'm gonna cut it, and I kind of cheat. I just go put a piece here, and then I take my ribbon like this, both ends, and I put one over the other, if you can see that. Just like that. And pinch it. And then that way, and then I come around, and you can either make it go this way, right like this, or you can have it like this. See, this way right here, or you can twist it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give that a little piece of glue right there. And I'm going to stick that down on there. Okay. And now I'm going to glue the back of it right on my hat. Let's see, right there's my little rim. I'm going to stick it right there. You see how I did that? Just stuck it right on there. Now, I've got some bells over here and some, let's see, I saw too, what else would be really cute. These are from the Dollar Tree too, and I just took these are the little guys with the little sticker on the back, and I just daubed it white. You could do a white one and put it right here like this, and put a silver, little piece of silver in, a little piece of silver, a little silver dot right in there, or a little red, like my little buckets here. See my little Dollar Tree buckets? I put the little red rhinestones around it. You could put a little red rhinestone in there. You could put one of these little silver balls on it. You could cut it in half and put it on there. Or you could put one of these little snowballs on it, like that, and put it on there. Let's see how that would look. It'd be kind of cute, huh? And then just add some greens. So the greenery that I use is just a pick. And what I do is I take a piece like this, and I just pull it off like this. And then I start, cutting off these little pieces like this to lay as my, see, this is what it looks like before I start cutting it. And then this is what so I just cut them off here like this. And I lay them in here. Put a little glue on the end. One right there. You can see that. Right there. And then I take my other piece and I'll stick it right on top of it. Or I'll do it this way. I'll probably do this one this way. Come on now. Okay. And then I think for this one I'm just going to do a couple of bells. So I take some bells and I'll put some glue on the back of them. These are all from Dollar Tree. Put one right there in the middle. I'll put a couple more. Here's some little guys. Take these little guys. These are a little bit harder to get a hold of, so I'll use my tweezers here. Kind of looks like little holly berry, or yeah, little berries in there. Now what I would do to finish this out is I would take and add some of this in here, cut a little extra off, like a round circle, and just stick it in there. Or like on this one I used a little bit of wire, wrapped wire, and this one as well. But whatever that you have on hand that you could put in there just to kind of jazz it up a little bit. And there you have them. Super simple, super easy, and I think this one I didn't use the poinsettia piece, so I probably have, gosh, maybe 25 cents into this, if even that much. So that's what the size of it are. You can make them larger, you can make them smaller. It all just depends on what size of base that you want and how big you want your pieces. Something else I wanted to show you real quick too is that on these little snowflakes, this is what they look like when you get them at Dollar Tree, right? They're just the wooden kind. But I took a little dauber with the white dollar store paint. If you can see that. It's kind of hard to see, isn't it? And then I just daubed it on there. But see how it made this edge around here? Maybe you could kind of work with your fabric a little bit and see what it looks like if you daub it on there. Let's see what it looks like. And you could make some snow on the edge of, this is just paint that I had in there earlier. And then just go on it and see what it looks like, and kind of gives it a little bit of a frosty look to your hat. If you wanted to make it look like you had a little bit of frost on the top of the hat along the edge there, and then maybe put a little bit of glitter in there or something. You could do all kinds of stuff like that. So anyway, those are just some ideas. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy. Make sure that you post so I can see your designs as well. There you go. Have a great day. Bye-bye.